All right, welcome guys. Thank you for tuning into my channel. This is my first official YouTube video, so I'd just like to take this opportunity to basically just introduce myself, talk a little bit about my background, and a little bit about the various entrepreneurial things that I am currently doing and things that I've undertaken in the past, since that's probably what the majority of you are watching this channel for, is money-making opportunities. So without further ado, so I'm 33 years old. I'm in the Air Force. I've been in the Air Force since I graduated high school, and I've pretty much been stationed all over the world. I did my first 5 years stationed in Germany, traveling all over Europe. Then I did a few years in Texas, 1 year in South Korea, 2 more years in Germany, and now I'm stationed in South Carolina. Over that time, I have had the opportunity to deploy 4 times, once to Qatar, once to Djibouti, which is a country in Africa near Somalia. I deployed to Kuwait, and I am currently serving a deployment tour in Pakistan, Islamabad, which is where I'm recording this video from right now. My job in the Air Force is as an air traffic controller, and if you are not already aware of what we do, we are basically the people who work in the tower, keeping planes from hitting each other as they move around the airport. Or we also work in lesser known about, but equally as important, radar rooms, keeping flights from hitting each other as they crisscross the United States and all around the world. As far as entrepreneurial stuff goes, so I'd like to tell you a funny story. Since I can remember, I've wanted to be rich. My dad likes to tell this funny story about when I was young. He would always get me to do yard work, and I absolutely hated it. He always used to tell me, that I need to learn how to do it because eventually I'm going to get older and I'm going to have my own place and I'm going to have to know how to do these things myself. And he always likes to say that I would say, no, I don't need to learn how to do this. I'm going to be rich, so I can hire it out. I can hire someone else to do it for me. And so that pretty much sums up my financial goals and how long I've had them for. I was saying things like that when I was a little kid. And so that's kind of what I've been working for. Basically just to make as much money as possible while still enjoying life. Make as much money as possible so that I can pick and choose what I want to do, as opposed to being a slave to, let's say, a 9-to-5, doing a job that I don't want to do, which is probably the driving force behind a lot of entrepreneurs. They want to, or I should say, we want to achieve financial freedom so that we can spend our time the way that we want to, as opposed to being forced to do things just to make a living. So with that said, a little bit about the things that I have done in the past and things that I'm currently doing to reach that get as rich as possible goal. So I have been investing in real estate since my early 20s. I bought my first investment property in 2010, and I am now up to a total of 9 investment properties, and that is I have a variety of single-family homes, duplexes, and other larger multifamily homes. And so I consider myself pretty versed in the real estate investment world and versed on the topics. So if that is something that people are interested in, I would gladly make a video or a series of videos about real estate investing. It is a great opportunity, that's for sure. And I've told countless people about it, people who have asked me about it because they see the success that I'm having with it, and other people who have always been interested in it but never really knew how to start, where to start, etc. Let's see. I guess I can go back to my first, besides regular jobs and stuff, my very first kind of money-making online type of thing was I started off by selling feedback, more specifically, on eBay. So for those of you who are not aware, when eBay first started, you were allowed to sell feedback. It's just like the reviews on Amazon. People want to buy things from people who have high feedback. So when eBay first came along, you were able to sell your feedback. You could post a listing and say, I'm selling one feedback for $1. I did not start doing it during that time, although I wish I had. I was a little bit too young at that point. But in my very early 20s, eBay had kind of moved away from that. They still do the feedback score, but they started being really tight on who, or rather not who, but they started banning people for selling feedback. You couldn't just say, I'm selling my feedback. But there were workarounds for that. And a friend of mine told me about this opportunity where you basically just sell nonsense for $1, and you put in your ad, instant feedback will be given after the purchase. So obviously that's a key to clue the buyer in. Okay, I'm going to get instant feedback by buying this item. I'm buying feedback. Of course, you don't say that in your ad, but basically that's what you do. So that's what I was doing. I was selling. I would take a picture of I have a water bottle right here. I would take a picture of the water bottle and I would make an ad for it on eBay. And I would say, selling a picture of this water bottle for $1. Now, no one wants a picture of a water bottle. And so we all understand that I'm buying feedback for this $1. And so I did that for, I'd say about a year, I think, maybe a year or two. I did that, selling random pictures, just snapping pictures all around my house. I took a picture of my backsplash in my kitchen and sold that. I took a picture of a T-shirt and sold that. I eventually got banned because I started selling recipes, and unfortunately, people actually wanted the recipe that they were buying from me. So I was selling I had started getting into baking cheesecakes. I really love cheesecake, and so I started making them for myself and just eating the heck out of them. So I typed up a cheesecake recipe on Word, and I threw it up on eBay, and I said, selling this cheesecake recipe for $1. Instant feedback will be given. And people actually bought the recipe and wanted it. Now, I was of the mindset that these people know they're not buying the recipe, they are buying a feedback. Well, some people even though Google was around, you could go on Google and Google a free recipe for cheesecake. People were actually spending money on eBay, spending $1 to buy a cheesecake recipe. Maybe it had to do with the picture that I had on there, I don't know. But after a few people bought a recipe and didn't receive it from me, I got reported and I got banned. So it was a fun run while it lasted. It lasted for about, like I said, 1 or 2 years. I can't really remember. I made a few $1,000s off of it, so I guess it was worth it. I wasn't doing any work for it, so that's that. Let's see. I already talked about the real estate investing, which is something that I'm still doing. I got into stock trading more specifically, and even more specifically, option trading, puts, calls, straddles, things like that, a little bit more advanced strategies on options. I got into that I think I was into that for a few years, but really it started feeling just like, because of how manipulated the stock market is, it started feeling to me like I was just going to the casino, just not as fun. And so I stopped doing that. I made some good money off of it. I had losses, I had gains. The awesome thing about options, for the most part, and gambling in general, is your losses, as long as you don't continuously buy back in, your losses are pretty much capped at 100%. You can lose 100% of your initial investment, your $100, your $500, whatever. But the sky's the limit on how much you can gain. If you buy a $200 call option and it quadruples in price, it goes up 400% or 1,000%, then you've gained a ton of money. But how much can you lose? Only your initial investment. So if you buy an option for $100 and you lose it, you've lost $100. But if you buy it for $100 and it goes up to 1,000, that's That's insane. So, but that pretty much applies to any kind of investment. You can only lose your initial investment, but you have the potential for gain is just exponential. And so I did that for a little while. Like I said, I got out of it, and now my most recent venture is selling things on Amazon. It's basically, if you've heard of it, if you haven't heard of it, it's called the Fulfillment by Amazon program, where you basically put your own label, put your own brand on a product that you buy from a manufacturer. The manufacturers come from China, India, some people, the United States, wherever you find a manufacturer for your product. You put your own logo, your own brand on the product, and then you sell it on Amazon. So the reason why I started this video and this channel is to primarily talk about the success that I have had so far with my selling on Amazon. Just to give you an example, I started selling on Amazon. I bought a course, which I will link in the description. I bought a course on how to sell on Amazon. I went through it. I learned as much as I could, and then I started researching what product I wanted to make, or rather sell, not make, but sell. And I will, in another video, I will go over the process a little bit more, a much better introduction to this. But just to give you an idea of what is possible, I bought a course about a month ago. I went through it in a few days, and then I started product research. I found a product that I wanted to sell. I got in touch with the manufacturer. I bought the product for a certain amount of money. I had the product sent to Amazon, and now I'm selling the product. In the 2.5 weeks that I have been selling, I have started to make between $300 and $600 of profit every single day. The first few days weren't that great. I was still working on getting my product from page, let's say, 15 to page 1. But once I got on page 1, it was sales have been insane. I'm selling tons of units every single day without spending any money on advertising. And like I said, I'm making between $300 and $600 a day. 300 usually come on the weekends because weekends are a little slow. During the week, my average is $600 of profit every single day off of one product. And the awesome thing about Amazon is that once your product is live, once you are making money from it, you pretty much are done with the work. All you have to do is reorder inventory when you're running low. Your inventory comes back up, and it just keeps on rolling. You have to do literally nothing for it. Amazon takes care of all the fulfillment. They ship the item. They handle returns. They do absolutely everything. Now, they take a fee for that, but the fee is minimal. So it really is a pretty awesome opportunity for people. Like I said, I'll put the link of the course that I took down in the description below. You can learn how to do most of the things that are required to get this rolling. You can learn most of it from free YouTube videos, but there are a lot of things that are not available on YouTube without spending literally hundreds of hours scouring YouTube, trying to piece together all these different videos on how to get from A to Z. A being very first starting looking for a product, to Z being your product selling on Amazon. You can do it. You can do it for free by scouring YouTube and scouring Google for days on end. I chose to buy a course, went through the course in a day and a half, and got started immediately. So obviously it's up to you, but I just wanted to say it is an awesome program, and I very much recommend that you get into it. So that's a little bit about that. I will make some future videos. I'll see how successful this intro video is. I'm not really sure if people actually want to hear from me. I'm not so vain that I think that, oh, people are going to love me. If people don't like this video, people don't like my online presence, and that's perfectly fine. I won't make any videos in the future. Makes no difference to me. But if people actually like this video, I will continue to make more. I definitely have a lot, I think, a lot of knowledge to share on quite a few different topics, not just money making, other things. I've luckily in my military life, I've had the opportunity to have a lot of different life experiences that not a lot of people get to experience. So I can talk. I think that I am able to talk competently about a lot of different subjects. But anyway, not to stray off course here. So I just want to thank you guys for watching my intro video. I will be making another video about the Amazon selling specifically, going into a little bit more detail about how the program works. Not the program that I bought, the actual process of selling on Amazon. A little bit of a more in-depth introduction to how that works. So if you're interested, please like this video and subscribe. And I will definitely be coming out with at least one or two more, depending on how people like it. So thanks, guys, for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.